Welcome. Today is our final visit to Great Notley Garden Village, a new housing development near Braintree in the heart of Essex. In this series of programmes, we've been following the building of hundreds of new homes and getting to know many of the people making new lives here. Today, I'm surrounded by a brand new village, a whole community that's been created with the construction of thousands of houses. And over the last few months, I've been privileged enough to have a ringside seat to see those houses going up. And I've learned all the tricks of the trade, whilst I've been an apprentice chain boy, a plumber, an electrician, a plasterer, a painter and decorator, a scaffolder, a roofer. I've even operated a whacker plate and put in kitchens. I've had a go at it all and failed at every single bit of it. But I've learnt a lot. I remember way back in the earliest days looking across the Hunter's Lodge building site and finding it impossible to imagine that eventually here there would be 22 luxury detached American-style timber frame homes. Hunter's Lodge was like building a gigantic jigsaw. The only problem was that sometimes the pieces didn't seem to fit. One of the many people responsible for the success of this project is site manager Mike Friend. Mike, over the months, I've been all over this site, Hunter's Lodge with you. We've been clambering over mud. The start of these houses, the walls going up, the first floor, the fixes, everything else. And all the way through it, you have hated them.
True.
These are timber frame, American-style houses, but they were being sort of made up as they went along, weren't they?
Also true.
Yes. So have you stopped throwing things at the architect now?
Not completely. We still throw the odd one back, but it is getting better, yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's getting better.
They are nice houses.
They are lovely houses, yeah.
So if I was to say to you that this site is nearly done, but there are another 500 timber-framed houses just across the way to be built, what would you do?
Probably have a go.
Have a go?
I'd have a go.
Would you?
Probably.
You're a good sort. Take care,
Thanks very much.
The saleswoman in charge of these £500,000 homes is Gloria Smith. 4 months ago, Gloria tried to sell me this one. You've got a two-roomed house downstairs.
But look at the rooms.
It's like a 2 up, 2 down, only it's nearly £500,000.
Oh, yeah, but, look at the space, Tim. Look at the space. It could be 6 rooms, couldn't it? And they've got, they've divided it into 2.
Let's go and have a look upstairs, shall we?
Wait a minute. You've got other rooms.
This is super saleswoman and my mate, Gloria. We've met lots of times and we've had a bit of a banter and a few laughs and a few giggles. But you're here now on Hunter's Lodge.
Yes.
You're flogging the houses here.
Yes.
You didn't manage to sell one to me, but yes, all right, you're selling them.
I'm working on it.
And how are you doing? Are they going well?
They are very well. I mean, when you think we haven't got a show house open yet.
So how many have you sold?
We've sold plots 2, 3 and 6. And this weekend we're hoping to get plots 5 and 7 reserved as well.
You're flying along. How many have you got to sell in total?
22 in total.
And is part of your talent, is it your charm? Is that what it's all about?
I think you've got
Getting
to get
on with grumpy
people.
old devils like me.
I love meeting people, I love talking to people. Well, as you know, I'd say probably people think that too much, that's probably my trouble. The problem is shutting me up. But we're all the same. We love talking to people, meeting people from all different walks of life. And really it's all about matching the person to a property, finding what property suits them.
Well, it's been lovely meeting you over the months. Thank you very much indeed. And I still say they're too close together.
No way.
They're big houses, you see. There should be more of a gap.
I will get you reserving.
Oh, no, you won't.
I will.
The show house at Hunter's Lodge will be complete within the next few weeks. The final stage of any show house is the fitting out, and I'm going to meet interior designer Carolyn Robinson. For Carolyn, this is all about lifestyle and psychological profiles. You've got all of these bits around, because the walls and everything are all very plain, but you've got all sorts of things like, eggs that are candles.
Yes, this is supposed to sort of people in this day, they like magazines and have the homes and gardens and house and gardens and all that sort of look, and this is supposed to trying to combine a realistic house as well as a slight magazine type feel which people sort of can relate to, and that's what we're trying to sort of do with these things, and try not to make it too formal and too tight and you walk in and everything's already set out and perfect. So someone's just left here, they've laid it out on the table, and they're going to move on, come back, lay it later on.
So the newspaper's on the rocking chair, that's actually deliberate?
Yes,
to make it look as though
absolutely.
someone's
Just dropped the papers, finished reading the paper, drop it down, and then going to move on somewhere else. Or as though someone's actually living here, you're walking into someone's house and it's supposed to feel homely, rather than a very stage set.
Who am I supposed to be? If I'm walking around here now and I'm going to buy this house, who would I be?
I reckon you'd probably be, you may be working in London, decide you want to move out of London, you have a youngish family, early teenagers, maybe another little one as well, and you're just moving on out of town to a bigger space.
And shed loads of money.
And shed loads of money.
Shed loads of money, yeah, okay. All right, show me another room where you've made it look as though someone is living here.
If we go through here, straight ahead.
Straight ahead?
Yes.
Okay. And would you even choose like the dining table and the chairs? And
Yes, no, everything, literally everything. It's specified wallpaper, carpet, everything.
It's not a bad job, that, is it? Because you can just wander around buying the nicest things.
Absolutely, and it's actually considerably easier doing it for a company like this than doing it for a private client, because then invariably you end up with much more input and it's something gets watered down.
Right.
It becomes less your thing. Here you get given quite a strict brief, you're asked to execute it, and you keep to a theme, and it's great fun, actually.
So is this a parent's room?
Yes, this is a more formal dining room, formal area. I think children aren't really allowed to sort of sit here. If they are, they have to ask to come in.
We have that. We have a non-kids room.
A non-kids, well, I think it's a good idea.
So, if the adults have their room,
Yeah,
do the kids get their room as well, upstairs?
of course. And you get a rather fantastic room if you go that way.
Oh, wow. Now, bright colours.
Yes.
That's the first thing that hits me. Oh, I
Yeah.
love the sunflowers over in the corner. That's terrific.
Well, it's supposed to be a fun, entertaining room where they can sort of relax. They've got a fantastic surround sound movie home cinema. Very special kids, these.
Yeah, very rich kids.
Very rich
yes.
kids, exactly. Well, the other thing about doing a room like this as well is that so people remember it in a way, because people who go around and who want to buy a house, they actually see so many, and it's they think, oh yes, that was the room that had that fantastic teenage room, which is bright colour, which is actually differentiates it from
Makes
another
it stand
property.
out.
Yeah,
And thus sells it.
Yes.
Hopefully.
hopefully.
Well, you can tell this is the teenager's room because all the bowls for the crisps are in fact empty. Right, let's move on. This is fantastic.
It's great.
Look at this bath with portholes in
Yes.
it. And do they work?
They do. It would be an exciting moment. If,
Oh.
Exactly. Water now is all over the bath.
So you don't let your little one come in while you're having a bath in this one?
No,
Or at
no.
least you keep an eye on them? I like that.
Good.
In fact, I like that so much that I might well copy that.
Really?
In my house, yes.
Fantastic.
So the crack is to know who the potential buyer is. Then create the house of their dreams by giving it that lived-in feel. Every detail counts. It's about creating atmosphere, memories of times past and times present. Well, now I must leave Carolyn to go hunting and gathering for fabrics, furniture and fittings for the Hunter's Lodge show house. Now off to wend my way to Suffolk and meet the sculptor Jonathan Clark with his prize-winning symbol for Great Notley, the silver bird of prey. Jonathan, true to form, only finished making his aluminium sculpture late last night. But now he has to meet yet another deadline. The trussed bird must be delivered unruffled to Great Notley today. It was only 2 weeks ago when I was with Jonathan in his studio foundry when this magnificent creature was born. Well, lifting the great silver bird onto the lorry was the easy bit. The tricky and testing part of this flight will be the takeoff.
There are two options for getting out of your drive. One is that way, when it would presumably take out that holly bush there.
Yeah, that is the slight concern, because that holly bush is very old as well, and it's been here a lot of years.
What if you go the other way? Because you've got this nice sort of curved drive.
Yeah, well, of course you'd try it really. If the driver is confident enough to get round that corner at the bottom, we'll be all right. And I'll get on the roof and chop branches as we go, if necessary.
Chop branches
well,
as
there's
you
a lot
go.
overhanging you and stuff.
How will it navigate through the winding jungle path to the main road? The driver chose Plan B. The problem here is twofold. The lorry is too long and the wings are too wide. They're hanging over a metre each side. Well, miraculously, the great silver bird appears to be unscathed.
Well, they've done it. It's pulled out. There's a bit of damage to the back end of the truck, but the main thing is the sculpture is perfectly intact. It started the first leg of its one and only journey. We're going to follow it.
But will the great bird arrive safely at Great Notley? Join us in part 2, when I will return to meet some of the many friends I've met during the making of this series. Welcome back to Great Notley Garden Village. I remember when this site used to be just a mass of muddy fields, and today the planner's dream has become real, with streets, closes, avenues, highways and byways brimming with brand new homes. I'm now going over to Willow's Edge, where I've watched this village development grow from its earliest foundations. I'm off to meet our old friend, the site manager, Andrew Knight.
If you've been following this series, there's one man who's been ever present. He's the site manager here at Willow's Edge, Andrew Knight. He's been with us from digging the foundations to finishing off the houses. And there's one thing about Andrew, you cannot rattle him. That's right, isn't it?
Always happy. You have to be always happy, Tim.
I don't know how you can be, because you've got to have one of the hardest jobs in the building trade.
Well, it can be sort of made difficult, really, with the sort of conditions that you have to work with, i.e. the bad weather and the quality of some of the people that you come across. But it's all down to life's experiences, really, and how you can sort of get the best out of people and handle them with the situation you're given at any time. I think you always have to remain positive, even if you feel somewhere deep inside that it's not going as well as you'd want to, but I think as long as you've always got a positive feel, you'll always do your best to drive forward, which is what I always try to do, really.
How many houses have you built here?
Well, since we've been here, I've sort of handed over in excess of 55 houses, which is sort of quite a lot, really. And if you was to then divide that over the span of time, the amount of handovers you've got a week is, far in excess of 3, which is, a busy site, really.
Very busy. What's your job satisfaction?
The job satisfaction, obviously, I think, is one, you can see a nice finished product at the end of it from when you started, it was just a muddy field. And two, the customers that move in, very happy with the product and always cheery to see me when we walk past. You know, one happy feeling that we can be here. They've got a house that they're proud of and they're very pleased with. And, you know, I've obviously achieved something that is not all down to me, obviously. I've got a good team that works behind me, so it's just good for everyone that's involved with the whole project. So, very good satisfaction as far as that's concerned.
And as far as I'm concerned, you're dead easy, you. I just switch you on and away you go. Andrew, thank you very much indeed. Good luck for the future,
Thanks
mate.
very much, Tim. Nice
All
to
right.
see you again.
Cheers, pal. Bye-bye.
I don't know where I'm going at the moment. I'm just trying to find some place for us.
One of the earliest families to buy a new house in Willow's Edge was the Finch family. I remember just 6 months ago helping Kurt, Catherine and their daughter Kaylee move into their new 3-bedroom home in Carpenter's Drive.
Yeah, funny this one.
Don't hurt yourself.
Yeah, right.
Go
Cheers.
On. Go on, Tim.
South African sense of humour, that one.
Be right.
It seems ages since they teased me on their removal day. Well, they've kindly invited me back to let me know what life is like living here in the new village.
And how's it feel? Does it feel good?
We've thoroughly enjoyed it, haven't we?
It's gone very, very quickly. Very quickly. I mean, we got here and the weather was beautiful. It's just sort of peak of summer. Which I know you're smiling like it. For South Africans, that's quite says quite a lot. But no, it was nice. But it has gone very quickly. But it's been really great.
We spent far too much money.
You've spent too much money.
She has.
Well, you've done all the rooms up beautifully. I like this. This is your African room, yeah? It's really nice. And how's Kaylee getting on? How's she settling in?
She's having it. You're at school now, aren't you?
Are you?
Come on then.
At school? At Notley Green? Are you at Notley Green, the big school? Wow, is it good? When you first came here, this was very much a dream. Very much. I think you'd moved out of, was it a flat you moved out of?
Yeah.
2-bedroom flat you moved out of. Is it still that dream, or is it, there's a bit of a laugh there, so.
Well, the day we first moved in, Kurt said, give us 5 years and, that should see us. And now what are we saying? 2 years max. We've already outgrown it, haven't we?
Vision is to move into a bigger place and to get something better.
Already? Even after 6 months? So would it be here at Great Notley? The bigger one here? You're very happy here?
Yeah, it's brilliant.
The Great Notley dream hasn't changed?
No, I mean, the area is really nice,
But it's time to move.
Well,
It's time to move. I mean, if somebody came along and said, look guys, you can have, X, Y and Z and the price was right, to be honest, we wouldn't even think, if the price was right, we would do it.
Yeah, but we would stay in Notley.
The Finches may have outgrown this house, but for now, Great Notley has become their village. And the next time they move home, it'll only be just around the corner. I'm now going over to the Great Notley Hill, where all is ready and waiting for the arrival of Jonathan Clark's sculpture, the Silver Bird of Prey. There's something very moving and almost religious about the nature of this procession. Led by the builder's arms, gently guiding like acolytes to the high altar on the peak. The magnificent bird slowly surveys its final resting place on this man-made mountain. As Jonathan looks on, the spigot hooves and nuts are firmly tightened. Finally, the long-haul flight is over. The Great Notley icon is bolted to the earth.
And there she goes on the final stage of her journey, which ironically is her maiden flight. She's done it, beaten all of the traffic, beaten the conditions getting across here, even beaten the weather conditions. If her luck holds out over the next couple of minutes, that pole will slide into place and the giant silver bird will watch over Great Notley forevermore. Jonathan, it's up, and it looks fantastic. Are you happy?
I am actually. You know, it's went up remarkably well.
Was your heart in your mouth at any stage, or were you confident?
No, I'm confident, as ever.
Yeah? You've just done the final sort of tinkering, that's putting a little bit of a twist on it.
Yeah.
You didn't want it straight on.
No, I think it adds to its sort of lively quality, but it's not dead straight on, you know, and the fact that it's heading slightly that way, the majority of people will come up from the car park and walk to the top to see it, so it's sort of greeting them a bit better than turning a cold shoulder.
And Richard, you've been involved in this project right from the very beginning.
I have, yeah.
You were on the panel, or you were on the panel
I was on the
that
panel,
picked
yes.
it. Yeah. Are you pleased?
Absolutely, yes. Really good, strong piece of art. I think Jonathan's to be commended for that.
Is that about the most dramatic piece you've ever done?
Yeah, the thing about it is, what I liked about doing it is the fact that it hasn't got any kind of background apart from nature. And the fact that we've just got nothing except the elements is quite, you know, it's quite privileged to get the opportunity to do that.
We leave the great bird as it takes its place, watching over the new community of Great Notley. And as the community continues to grow, the building of this garden village on what was once hundreds of acres of Essex muddy fields is almost complete. Looking out now, I can remember meeting many of the people that have helped make this village come alive. I've been invited into houses, I've looked round gardens, I've even taken part in lots of village activities. It may not be perfect, but what was once just lines and boxes on a planner's dream has actually turned into something tangible, something real. 5,000 people will make Great Notley their home. They'll create a brand new community. And I wish them all the luck in the world.